To understand where we are going, we have to understand the mechanics of how money is created. But more importantly, we have to understand how money is systematically debased. Most people believe that money is printed by the Fed and then simply spent into the economy. In reality, that is only a tiny fraction of the story. Most money is actually created by private commercial banks through a process called fractional reserve lending. When you deposit $1,000 into your account, the bank doesn't just keep it in a vault. They are only required to keep a small fraction of it, often 10% or even zero. They lend out the rest. That loan then becomes a deposit in another bank, which lends out the majority of that new amount. Suddenly, through the expansion of credit, your original $1,000 has turned into thousands of dollars of new digital money in the system. This is only one layer of the constant expansion of debt. These central banks are in control of the monetary policy. When the economy stalls or faces a crisis, central banks step in with a tool called quantitative easing, or QE. This is essentially the digital version of the printing press. The central bank creates new money out of thin air to buy government bonds and other financial assets. They flood the system with liquidity, hoping to jumpstart spending and keep the gears turning. The justification for this is almost always a reaction to global events. Whether it is a pandemic, a war, or a massive supply chain disruption, these events create economic shocks. To prevent a total collapse, policymakers print money as a solution. But there is no such thing as a free lunch in economics. When the supply of money increases significantly faster than the economy can produce actual goods and services, the result is inflation. Inflation is often described as prices going up, but that is a misleading perspective. It is more accurate to say that the value of the currency is going down. Every new dollar printed makes every existing dollar you hold worth a little bit less. This is currency debasement. It leads to a massive, silent loss of purchasing power. The $50 you earned yesterday simply cannot command the same amount of resources in the world today. When this process is left unchecked, the economy enters a danger zone of uncertainty and instability. Businesses cannot plan for the long term because they don't know what their future costs will be. Real investment slows down. But the most expensive thing lost during this process isn't the money itself, it is central bank credibility. A currency only has value because of a collective social contract, a belief that it will hold its worth. When a central bank prints too much for too long, that contract begins to shatter. People lose confidence. They realize the money is being manipulated to solve short-term political or banking problems. This loss of faith often leads to a recession as the economy struggles to find a real foundation. In the worst-case scenarios, the system hits a terminal breaking point, hyperinflation. This is when the printer moves so fast that the currency loses value by the hour, representing a total collapse of the centralized ledger. We are told our current system is necessary for stability, but as the printer continues to roar, we have to ask who that stability is actually for.